You know those things that if when you play with them as a kid and then you snap your fingers because it
Yeah.
goes.
Yeah.
What are
Yeah.
those called?
It's
Barrier.
just called the things that you play with as a kid that you
Yeah.
snap your fingers.
Thank you.
Some sort of line fence.
Line
Who
fence
Line,
knows?
with
They use it at the airport.
removable,
retractable
retractable.
Yeah. It's like a
poles.
seat belt, but for a line.
Yeah.
Right. And you know exactly what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
we all know. We all know what we were talking about.
Yeah. Welcome to Court Captains, a volleyball podcast.
Where we talk all things Major League Volleyball. I'm Kelly.
I'm Nikki.
I'm Ian, and today we're talking the end of the 2026 playoffs. Dallas is champions, lots of other stuff, incredible playoff matches that Nikki and Kelly got to see live. But first, a message from our sponsor, sponsoring today's episode, Volley, the app. You may have heard of it in our other episodes. I know that the MLB season is now done, so you may think, well, I can offload this for space. Wrong. You can get all of the info there on their content tab. There's articles that'll be linked. We are assuming, as Nikki's told us, that many signings should be coming up. You got to keep up on that. Lots of churn in the league, so we have to know who's where. And that's where I'll be finding out. So you can find the app at playvolley.com/courtcaptains, playvolley.com/courtcaptains.
Beautiful. All right. We're going to talk about the playoff games. Duh.
Yes.
Duh.
I would love to know ahead of that. Obviously, we all had different experiences of the playoffs. This was my second playoff championship attending, Kelly's first to attend. So I have the comparisons from Vegas to this year. Ian was watching it on Ion.
Yeah. Full
And so
consumer.
I would love to know, what's everybody's rose and a thorn, a pro and a con,
Sure.
positive and a negative from your respective viewing experiences. Should I go first?
Yes.
Mine's gonna be about scheduling. I'm gonna say overall, the difference from Vegas to Dallas was good, and that's probably because the team that was in it was at home.
Sure.
That's
It's
got to
good.
be a
Yeah, it
big.
seemed like there was some good environments in the building.
Yeah.
Yes, it was really fun. Obviously, the final was sold out, and it felt like it. It was great. The first semifinal, Indy Omaha, was very busy and crowded, even though it was two away teams. Dallas game against San Diego got a little late, so it did clear out
Hmm.
as we got later and later. But overall, I felt that my rose was overall that Thursday, Saturday was definitely better than Friday, Sunday. I think that it not being on Mother's Day directly really helped with the
Probably helped,
final.
yeah.
So that's my rose. I thought that overall the scheduling made a good amount of sense from the day perspective. I think it helped fill in that crowd. Here's my thorn. That first day was a 6 p.m. start, which also I understand. Like, you want it to be after work, quote unquote. Although there were two away teams. So I think that should have been a little bit earlier because the idea of this league never having a match that starts after another one and then in the semifinal you do, right? I know that like playing consecutive matches, all of these women have done this at some time or another,
Yeah.
but they haven't for 5 months minimum, maybe many years. I think there are rules about international timings where like you have to have a second court available
Yeah.
if there's a match going on in the first for at least 45 minutes. It like a team needs 45 minutes of court time
Yeah.
before a game starts. I think that's the
Sure.
like FIVB rule.
Yep.
And they just blew through that. Like they were just like, what? 30 minutes on there. We got to get going.
Yeah.
And I understand there's TV implications. There's a lot of stuff going on. But it seemed horrible. The teams were kept like checking in during the first match. It went to 5. It was a really long match. And I wonder how much of San Diego's slow start, and like kind of up and down, like was
Oh,
partially
yeah.
due to that.
Yeah. Especially compared playing the home team. They play in that arena all the time.
Right.
They're coming from their homes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think we didn't get, I mean, uh, we are going to prioritize the player and the coach experience, which I hear was bad. But then also, the other side of it, like, let's pretend that that's not the most important thing. If the league wants the teams to play their best, you gotta give them more time to to prep for that. And I don't
Yeah.
think that we got the best volleyball that we could have in that second
Yeah.
semifinal.
Do you think it would have been better if they had that match on Friday and then both
Friday,
teams had,
Saturday.
yeah.
Potentially. Yeah, because
One
I
day
also see
turnaround.
like I don't know that the main concern of the league is that like the teams are playing their best. I think the main concern of the league was that it's like a one consumable television
Yeah.
product for both
Yeah,
Hmm.
semifinals. So like you
for
could sit
sure.
down and have people not get up or not be like, well, all right, it's over, and then not watch the second game or just show up.
Yeah.
Well, then
Which,
I
you
think
know,
at that point, do Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Makes
yeah,
everybody happy.
you get a game every day, but then somebody is playing
Playing
on a
two in a row.
short, yeah, playing on a really short turnaround, which would suck.
Yeah,
But, then get a better seed.
right.
Yeah. But then, yeah, it's tough because then, like, which I'm sure we'll talk about, like, just karmically, obviously, you don't want a better seed because the number one seed is terrible in the
Yeah,
league and always loses.
is destined to
So then
lose.
you've got, like, the number four team gets a extra
Yeah.
day of rest.
Hmm.
But yeah, I get that, it's tough because I think probably you would want it to, if you're going to do them back to back, you would want to, yeah, do it like 3 p.m., 7 p.m.
Hmm. Right. A
instead
little bit better to
of.
schedule it.
Yeah.
But yeah, then yeah,
I would
you're
have even
not
been
going to
cool
get a
with
ton
like
of people in
four
the
and
building.
eight. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's a TV deal thing. There are so many factors. I'm
Or
just
you do wait until like push the season back Memorial Day weekend and you go
Oh,
Saturday, Monday.
yeah, you'd for sure get people to come to those.
Yeah,
they
exactly.
would come, but nobody else would be happy about
You
that
need a
because it's
Yeah.
long
international
weekend.
season then.
Yeah.
Yeah. That
But
actually
all,
kind of,
all said,
oh,
sorry, go
what?
ahead.
I was going to say that kind of relates to my thorn,
Let's go.
which was because well, I actually have two thorns. One's related to my personal experience. Well, they're both whatever. Okay. I'm just going to do two.
Give us your thorns.
Okay. So because the match was so late and started so late, they obviously had to deal with the people working the like vendors around the stadium.
Hmm.
And so like they stopped serving food like before the first set was even over
Hmm.
of the second match. And we didn't eat. No one told us there was food for us. And that was really hard. And we
It
were
was
really
stressful.
hungry.
It
But
was
then
That
so
would be
stressful.
a man gave me pizza. Yeah.
nice.
And it
I went
was
up
A
to the
kind
perfectly,
man.
perfectly adequate.
I went up to the burrito and taco stand, and I was like, "Can I please have a burrito bowl?" And they were like, "Yeah." And then as soon as I was done, they closed the
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
line.
So my other thorn, because you asked for two,
Yeah,
they weren't playing replays in the stadium. And I
I
didn't
think
like
they.
that.
I thought they were
No,
never.
I'm pretty sure never.
Okay.
We had a couple. I mean,
Or at
they
least
did a
they
decent
weren't
job
good
with
for
the.
me.
They actually had a friggin' well. It's not my turn. It's not my turn.
Oh,
You go
oh, oh,
first.
oh. Okay, okay. Finish
I'll
your
say
thorns.
I'll say
Those were
later.
your thorns,
Those are
and
my
then.
thorns. My rose.
Hmm.
Oh, I mean, I mentioned it multiple times throughout the weekend where they had us sitting. It was like my ideal place to watch volleyball.
It
I was
really
like,
was.
we've gone to enough of these matches that like they'll like put us in a certain place, and a lot of times we kind of like move around. We won't
Yeah. See
like
other
stay at the
angles.
media place because it's usually
Hmm.
not the our ideal place to watch volleyball. And this we stayed in those seats the whole time
Hmm.
Yeah.
because it was great.
Yeah, it was perfect. It was so good.
So yeah, so that
So
was a
you don't even need replays.
very media pass centric Rose and Thorn,
Yeah.
but
Love it.
that's it.
Aim, what you
Good.
got?
Well, first, kind of compared to the instant replay conversation
Yeah.
Yeah.
on TV, I think they don't play a ton of replays because they want to get to the next point, but they did play a few, and they also had kind of like an NHL in the '90s slash early 2000s when they would put the little comet streak on the puck so people could see where it was. They had
Oh,
replays where there was like
the
a little
trajectory.
tail on the ball so you could see its trajectory and then a highlighted line that it hits like on the side of the
Oh.
court. Paul on the
Oh,
telecast was like, "Hot damn, this is good production." He didn't say that, but that's something Paul might
Hot
say.
dog. He probably said
Yeah.
hot dog
Wow.
diggity.
I thought you were gonna mention that they had like the attack speed and like attack
They did have
height.
that. Yeah.
When I saw a few clips from Ion, I was like, that's cool.
Yeah, they
Hmm.
had some good stuff. That's the other thing
I
I'll
liked
say.
that.
Ion, easy to find for me once I found out that the television has the antenna built into it.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So
Uh-huh.
it was right there.
Yeah. Hey,
Very
does everyone
simple.
know that you don't have to pay for Ion?
Yeah, it's free, guys. It's free. It's over the air. But they also had some good like pregame stuff, I think, where they would break down, how high the net is, how high you have to
Oh,
jump
cool.
But then
Great.
also like center distribution all on screen at the same time for like the previous semifinal games where they were setting to how they were killing from those places. I thought it was good product on TV.
Nice.
Um, the thorn, I guess, would be that like it's just all AI commercials basically trying to scam old people, but I think that's just like over the air television in general.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
all, AI medication commercials or AI like, hey, have you heard about the free grocery card you can get if you give us all your information over the phone? But that's not
Depressing.
really Ion specific, I don't think.
Yeah.
No.
That's
I think
just
that
Well,
was
that's just
really
your
it.
thorn. That's just your thorn about like society in this
Yeah, about
moment.
TV, but it was
wait,
good.
I had a really good speaking of AI, what's that, a segue? I had a really good AI segue. I did post about this. I
Yeah.
almost didn't because I think that
I'm glad you did.
the people at the gist, they've caught strays from me on here before, all right? And
Can you
while
give
I
us a little recap on the gist?
the gist is came onto the scene as a women's sports only social media journalist articles. They could send like you emails every week or something with like women's sports at a glance this week. And they started off with, I think, a lot of promise. I was really appreciative of them. And then it started to take a turn. And it seemed like most of what they were posting was just
Paid,
for money.
yeah, paid
It was like
promotion,
really all promotional content sponsored, written by whoever
which
paid them
I
to
do think is
post
like
it.
most journalism now.
Yeah, it's a lot of it, but they have 370,000 followers. They had that newsletter was like their one of their first things. It was they have 1 million
Wow.
subscribers on that. So they monetized, right? They did it the way that they were gonna, and then they monetized, and now here we are. And so they've done. Love has paid them to cover different things. Now MLV has as well. I do think that there was a woman there who was covering from them, and like again, no shade to the individuals, but generally speaking, I guess this is more a commentary on, like Ian said, the state of television and journalism right now. And so they had an MLV post, and it was everything you need to know ahead of the MLV championships. Ian, did you see this by chance?
No, but I heard about it
So
For sure.
good.
via your social media.
Okay, got it. Well,
What did we
so
need to know?
they had what we needed to know was first the ballers to watch, and we had Mia Tuaninga
Correct.
of the
Okay.
#1 Indie Ignite. Okay,
Correct.
top floor
Like it?
general feeds the Ignite offense that reached the finals 2 years in a row.
Accurate.
Nice.
Not the finals, the playoffs, but okay, sure. Then there's Janice Liao, #4 Omaha Supernovas. Set a franchise record 21 blocks this season. Force at the net for Omaha helped win the championship in 2024. No, but okay, like, these are just little details. Little details from my old noggin. That's okay. You can't know everything. Then we have Taylor Sanbothy, #3 San Diego, Mojo, veteran presence that plays with proven scoring ability and style, adds stability and front court production from the Mojo. I would even go so far as to say that one's fine. Okay?
It's a
Checked out
stretch.
well in the game.
It's a bit of a stretch. She hasn't played super consistently this year, but lately she's playing and she's playing well.
I think there are like could have done Shara, could have done
Marin, Grote.
Grace,
Yeah,
could have done Maren
probably.
Grote.
Right. Yeah, sure. Let me continue.
Yeah.
Dallas Pulse, #2. They're going to go with Isabel Martin, a key offensive player bringing consistent outside production. Dallas's first MLV season, and the championship is in her backyard.
Would you like to know her total attempts on the season?
I would love to know it.
49.
You want to know her total attempts in the playoffs? None. No attempts.
Yeah. Key offensive player bringing consistent outside production. Now, here's the thing about this. I'm starting to sense that AI put this together because she is talked about on the internet a lot because she's married to an NFL player. She gets a lot of internet.
Yeah.
On the
Or
pub.
pause men's.
Osmonds? Yeah, okay.
Pause men's. Okay.
Get a high
But,
Q rating.
I didn't want to call, she might, if she listens to this, I'm sorry. I'm just talking about attempts, right?
Yes.
I don't want to call her out on social media. Like, it's not her fault, obviously.
No.
Absolutely
no.
not.
But the one that I did post as the real risk in terms of AI, it was who has the best chance to win the million, and the following little blurbs were written about each team. Indy, the most complete roster in the field, no weak links, no easy targets. Their depth makes them one of the safest best bets to outlast everyone and take the million.
Correct.
I'm gonna say fine.
Correct. Yeah.
Omaha.
We have said as much on the podcast, and we are not AI.
Totally. Really good. That's a really good call, Kelly. We are not AI. Omaha. Pure offensive firepower that can overwhelm anyone when they're clicking. If they get hot, they can swing their way straight to the ship.
I would say, yeah, if anything impressed me this year about Omaha, it was like their blocking.
Yes. Yes.
So,
Okay.
And
all
there's
right.
like such an easy narrative to just be like, they fired they're good. They went through so much this year and they
Yes.
made
Right.
it to the playoffs and they're the underdog now.
They're
Yes.
the 4 seed, the 500 team. They've had ups and downs, right? We could write something
Yeah.
that's a narrative there.
Yeah.
Okay. For Dallas, elite defense that turns every match into a grind and forces opponents to earn everything in a high pressure setting. That consistency makes them a serious title threat.
I mean,
This was
I
the
would feel like those are flipped.
Yeah, this was what, because Nikki was like, just read it. And I was like, okay, okay. And that was the saying that
I was
Dallas
like,
had good
what?
defense. Again, it's not that they have bad defense. Like
Sure.
Yeah, that just
That's not the
wasn't the
thing
Nati
defining
is
to.
great.
characteristic.
However, we can all agree that the reason that they have won so many matches is because of their offense.
Yeah.
And their outside production specifically, right? I
Correct.
mean,
Yeah.
like,
Insane.
okay, then for San Diego, a blocking force that can completely take over matches at the net. If they control that space, they've got a real path to 1 million.
Sure.
No, I think maybe they're more the defensive team. If you're gonna take those three and flip them around, I feel like that's the defense team.
Sure.
Omaha's the blocking team. Dallas is the offensive team, right? But
Sure.
regardless, those are all very fluffy, general things to say. You just picked four things. Anyway, so if anyone did want to ask us, we could
Oh,
write
yeah.
those.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, you're right.
Or
We
just
would,
I don't
yeah.
understand why if this is paid promotion, like why is the MLB not sending copy?
Right.
Right.
So
Or
now are we shit
approving
talking?
copy.
Are we shit talking? Who used the AI that we're shit talking? Is it someone at the league or is it the
Oh,
gist?
For me, it would be first the gist. From the league perspective, like this is not a place that's covering the league. Like they don't have anyone that's like, well, I'm watching this,
right.
so I know what's going on. So you would think that there's some content person in the MLB that would just be like, post this,
Yeah, which they do
post our
do
promotional
sometimes.
shit.
But because there was a gist person there, I'm pretty sure present,
Yeah.
that made me wonder if they, and that was the case last year in Vegas as well. I saw a woman who was working there. That makes me wonder if they like bought a different level of
Yeah,
coverage where it
sure.
was like a person who's supposed to
An
be
actual
covering.
reporter.
Right. Instead of we'll pay you less money if you put out what we say. You
Yeah.
know?
Well, I also can't imagine that it's like they're definitely not a exclusive reporter or anything, and they're not going to
No,
like the regular
no.
season games or anything. So
Yeah. Or even like
Right.
it's
exclusively
tough
a
to
volleyball
just
reporter.
yeah, oh for sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is just like a freelance writer that's being
Yeah.
put on
Just
the.
trying to like get some
They're doing their
bylines.
best, but boy,
But
Yeah.
yeah, like if it's just going to be an ad, like just send them some cool pictures and be like, here,
sure.
the semifinals are coming.
I mean, it was cool. They had like four little videos embedded in each.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, that is the whole thing with the gist is that they post like summaries
yeah.
of the what's going on
Right.
in all these leagues.
And that's
It's
why it's a big bummer
or
when it's
or
incorrect.
the gist of the league.
Oh, if you will. All right. What do you think? Is it time for the scorner?
Okay. Do you want me to do all three games, or do you want to talk about them after I'm done with each one?
Actually, I kind of like that.
You
One
mean
at a
talk
time?
about them?
All right.
Yeah, there's
Cool.
only three. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Less time for snacks.
Yeah, no, less snack time.
That's
So this
okay.
will be a kind of different scorner, or we'll call it a mosh pit scorner. We're all involved, in this. We're all going to be speaking during this scorner. So first, we'll start with the semifinals. The first one, Thursday, May 7th is when this took place. It was, as we said, on Ion. It was the number 4 Omaha Supernovas versus the number 1 Indy Ignite for the second year in a row in the semifinals, except their seeds were switched this year. So the 4 has won each of their matchups. Omaha, I would say, I don't know, shocked. Maybe not shocked the top seed, but it was surprised the top seed Indy Ignite and won the final 2 sets, and they won the decisive 5th set by 2. The last year that they played, Indy won the final 5th set by 2, so they've got a little playoff rivalry going on, very intense. Omaha won the first set 25-22, then lost the next two 21-25, 27-29, and then won 25-20 and 15-10. to 13. Couple little stats for you before we start talking. Omaha was out hit for the match, 219 to 241, but only have to win 3 sets. And all 3 of the sets they won, they did out hit Indy. So situationally, they were really good. And I think we mentioned it a little bit earlier too. Their season was defined by finding a way to turn it around when they were struggling, and I guess they did the same. They were losing 2 sets to 1, and they figured it out. Shout out to Janice Liao in this one because we all know it was a rough final for her, but in this game she was great. She had 4 blocks and 3 in the 3rd set. Ted kills at 471. And yeah, just really upsetting to see her get injured later in the week, but she was really good in that one. And yeah, talk it out. Omaha beat him. Vengeance.
It was emotional for me.
It's intense.
It was, yeah.
I had a bad time. But I do just want to mention this is the 3rd year in a row that the 4 seed has beat the 1 seed in 5 sets.
Crazy.
The 1 seed has never made the championship game ever before.
Crazy.
There is
What does it mean?
pretty clearly a curse.
There's some sort of trend happening.
And it's pretty wild, like the stats, how much better Indy hit overall than Omaha. And just being in the room, and I'm sure you could sense it also, like watching. It came down to like nerves. Like
I think so.
Indy was, and actually the championship was also kind of like that as well. I think there
They
were
had
just like
17
a lot of
service errors to 1 ace. That I don't
Have
think
they
they've done that
ever
ever.
done that?
No.
Yeah.
it
Not
was
to 1
messy,
ace.
messy volleyball.
Well, Ian, did you feel like Indy looked nervous in this game?
I don't know.
At least at the
tough. Like
beginning.
obviously, like I don't know. It's hard to say nervous or not. They looked just kind of out of sorts. I don't know if that's. We talked about that Omaha beat them twice out of their 4 matchups during the regular season, so beat them 3 times now this year, and I don't know if there's just something with them that they just play and they're a good matchup against Indy. It was so close. Indy did win a 29-27 set. I guess at that point there's not the nerves coming in because you're still fighting to in a tie match, but then after you drop that 4th set, I guess you can start getting a little tight. But things that worked during the year just didn't, like Lekator only played the first 3 sets. She hit under 100. They just were really dialed in on her. They didn't block her, but there was a lot of block touches. She ended up having 4 errors hitting to 6 kills. So I think they just played their hitters really well.
It was very like up and down. Anna DeBeer, I recall, like having some really huge moments and
Yeah.
then not. But then so then you can't really take them out, right? Because they're still producing at good moments. But
Well, and the big one for me was it felt like Lydia Martin was like she was on fire early in the game. She finished with 6 blocks, half the team's blocks. She hit over 300. She was like picking up a lot of the slack, and then it did seem like she had some like foot. It seemed like she maybe said toe on the telecast when they were looking at her because they had a coach helping her over the hoardings to sit down, and she did come back in the game and started the last 2 sets. I think that might have been early in the 4th. I don't know. But and she kept coming back in and did end up playing, but it seems like she was sitting for a while because she was dealing with something and it wasn't quite the same after she
Yeah.
left the game for a little while.
That's interesting. I thought that she was really, really late on some
Yeah.
attacks and blocks earlier in the match. I am surprised to see that in the end she hit 320. I was like,
She got
I think
blocked
I
4
want to see
times, but-
Clothier. But she did. Lydia Martin did hit well.
yeah, she had some like amazing balls.
She did. And that's
Yeah.
where like that coach knows her team better, knows like when it's time to pull her versus when to hang with her. She did end up really producing in the 2nd and 3rd set, especially.
And the blocks, like she was their, main block throughout that game. I think Jalen Keene was also really good offensively,
Yeah.
but she had 5 service errors,
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
no aces. So
And
they only had Lydia Martin also had their only ace of the game, which is
yeah.
not what I would expect coming in.
Yeah. I will say that I thought Mia was a little off.
That was the most I noticed that from point 3.
Yeah.
I was like,
Just a
especially
little-
because we
yeah.
had the seats that we had.
Yep.
And I was saying to you, Kelly, like, is the point for them to fall inside? I don't think that
I
it
didn't think
is.
so. And but also we noticed Omaha had some really good service pressure.
Mm-hmm.
And
They were
so
serving short,
Yeah.
and it was
so
really messing with the offense, I
yeah.
think.
Yeah, I just thought there were overpass set. Like she set over a few times that
And
like pretty
fairly
crazy.
consistently 3 feet inside
Yes.
the pin for both outsides and right sides.
Yeah.
I didn't think Ajani could really get
Yes.
going
Yeah.
because that block is able to just be fully closed and you don't have the space to get
Yeah.
to the outside of it to swing line.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's such, in this game, especially like such small margins
Yes.
in the
Yeah.
end. Like it comes down to 2 points in the fifth set.
Yeah.
Any of those things
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
could have changed the game, but
But yeah, serving errors are not gonna, that's not
yeah,
helping.
17. I mean, I don't know how many of those were in the fifth set, and it doesn't feel like it was a ton. They had two in the final set. But
Oh.
I think the other thing was like we've talked about Omaha's passing all year. They
Mm-hmm.
weren't phenomenal, but they were better than Indy passing wise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That'll make a
Barely. Like it
difference.
was about the same.
Yeah.
So I think that Omaha has, we could say, m more practice
Yeah.
hitting out of that type of passing
Yeah.
situation than India.
I don't think Omaha did anything that special. I think they were just more consistent.
Yeah, and they were there, and that's what their coach said after is like it's a different place for them to be in, I think, is his whole thing was like, you just have to win by 2 points in the sets. They out hit Indy in the three sets that they won, and they ended
That's
up
all.
getting to the places where they had the opportunities to, win a
Yeah.
close set, and that's all you have to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting that they didn't let Reagan Cooper see a single point of these
Yeah.
Oh
matches.
yeah.
What's that about? That said, this is more for the final.
Yeah.
Nora,
Brock,
I
Nora.
yeah.
think it's Brock, played great
Yeah.
when she got in. So that was interesting. We hadn't really seen her. Reagan Cooper not playing a single point to me is like, why?
Maybe
I
she's
know that
injured.
the passing was yeah, that could be.
Yeah. But yeah, I agree because it's like you could give her some time
Totally. A
to
little something.
because I mean Sarah Parsons wasn't I don't think was hitting the best.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, she had like 180 for the match, I think, around
Yeah.
there.
And
Yeah, and they
so
were
yeah,
going
why
after
not
her on serve
try
receive
out
though.
some other folks?
But also
Right.
like
But she was passing.
yeah, she takes like 58% of the
Yeah.
passes for the
Right.
team. So
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah,
they have to stick with her, I
Yeah.
guess.
It would have changed the dynamic of the passing for sure. And I'm sure they don't want to mess with that too much.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. They were really close in blocking both sides. They were close in, hitting errors. And I think that Omaha coming in would think that that's a win, right? Is like
Mm-hmm.
if we can match them in those, then you have a good chance.
I mean, I
Yep.
think normally Omaha misses a shit ton of serves. So the
Well,
fact that
we
Yeah.
will
Indy
see
did it
that in
this
the
time,
final for sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
the fact that Indy did it this time. I mean, I really didn't feel like Indy. Both of these teams entered this match looking not at all like how they played the whole rest of the year.
Yeah.
They looked like completely from an energy standpoint. Obviously, all the people are the same, but from an energy and like stringing a play together,
Yeah.
I thought that Indy looked panicked in out of system as opposed to normally they looked very calm. I thought that Omaha looked together, very focused on to the next point.
Yeah.
They like did never let anything get
Like
to
a little
them.
bit more mature, honestly.
Yes,
Well, and
it
they
was
like that
not
was
at
the
all
yeah,
what we
the
had
two
seen.
sets that it worked well for Indy, they hit like 333 and 350 in the two sets they won. And they hit
Yeah,
under
but
200 in all the other three sets.
and yet there were moments when they were winning when I went, they can't be winning. Like looking at their
Yeah.
body language and the way
Yeah.
that they were interacting with each other, like
Is that the curse?
it was like a panic. It
Yeah.
just that's how it felt the whole time. And I was like, wow, can they pull this out? They're 5 points up. They might not,
Yeah.
based
Well, and
on
that's the Omaha side. It just has to feel like, well, playing with house money anyway.
yeah,
Just play. And Indy, it has to feel like as it keeps going and it's still close. And oh man, like you kind of getting a little tense about it.
totally.
Yeah.
All right. You want to talk the next one?
Yeah.
Sure. All right. Right after that, what happened in between games? You went to the press conferences.
Yes,
What was
we did.
what were the press conferences like? Really quick, general mood.
Oh no, great question. Indy, there was crying. It was
Yeah.
sad, and there was crying.
It's a
All
long
I can think
season.
of in those losses are like, let's get them out of here.
Yeah.
Like
Let's let them
Yeah.
go home.
let's let them get out of here. I asked one question that like gave them the chance to just like step back from it a little bit and try to be proud of themselves.
Yeah.
And then I was like, we gotta let them go. Omaha was obviously like giddy like kids. They didn't have any there wasn't like you said, playing with house money. They were just like everything's gonna be great if we win, and they were thrilled.
There was a
Um,
lot of talk on the telecast about how Indy was the only team with multiple award winners, and Omaha didn't have a single player on the first or second league team.
and the coach brought that up right away as well.
Yeah.
The Omaha coach.
Chip on that's good bulletin board material for the team.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I loved getting to hear from Janice Leao in the first press conference. I thought that she was really focused, thoughtful, happy to be there. She had a
Yeah.
great. Why wouldn't she be? She had a fucking amazing match after that first one, and so yeah, it was a nice time.
Sweet.
And then we missed the food, so then we had to go get the food. And then we missed like the first few points of the next one, but then we were ready to go. When did it start? 9:30.
Yeah, something around there.
Let's look at the
9:15-ish.
Yeah, 9:15. Pretty good.
All right. Well, then 9:15, whatever time zone Frisco's in, Central.
Yeah.
All right, cool. We're in the same time zone, so that's none of that 1 hour jet lag that you could get going either direction from the Midwest. So this one began number 3 San Diego Mojo versus number 2 Dallas Pulse on Ion. Dallas lost a close first set, and then they turned around and it was pretty dominant from there on out, and they beat the Mojo in 4 sets. They lost the first 28-30, really, exciting first set, and then it was 25-18, 25-17. 25-10. And honestly, the 25-10 on paper, like that seems closer than it actually was. It feels like I think at one point it was 24-7, which is approaching on the biggest margin of victory in a set that we've seen all year. So it got pretty nasty by the end. Dallas out hit the Mojo 333 to 108 for the match, and even out hit them in that first set, which they narrowly lost. They also outblocked the Mojo 21-8 and then outscored them 75-45 over those final 3 sets. So about as dominant as they could ask for, despite losing that first set. Really great games down the line. Mimi Collier had a good one in this one. 18 kills at 306. She had 3 blocks and 2 aces. Maldonado Diaz had 21 kills, hit a little worse at 212, but had 4 blocks, 18 digs. And then the thing that I think we said couldn't happen or wouldn't happen was that the rest of the supporting cast from Dallas really stepped up. I think the Mojo would have been fine with Sofia Maldonado Diaz hitting 212, but Kaylee Cox hit 591 with 15 kills and 2 blocks. Tristan Savage set what the telecast said was a playoff record with 8 blocks. She also had 4 kills at 333. So they really had it going. Grace Loberg led the other side, 13 kills to 11, had a block. But yeah, they never really got going offensively especially it felt like to Dallas's block. Like I said, 21. So pretty crazy. And they won that second semifinal.
So here's what Mojo's game plan was. Stop the outsides.
Yeah,
If we just put up a solid block against the outsides,
it'll
we'll
be
win.
fine.
We'll be
Yeah,
fine.
but they
However,
forgot about Mimi Collier and the other
when
players.
when you focus on just the outsides,
Then Kaylee
there's a
Cox
whole other
was-
side of the court,
Yeah,
and Kayla
I
Cox is
think
a
that
good
they
player.
had. I think they had some triple blocks up on Mimi a couple
yeah.
times.
And she still
What
hit
we
over
suggested.
300. Yeah, she still hit over 3. Like that happened to Dallas later in the final too. Is like it was a one of the two of them was hitting well,
Hmm.
or
Yeah.
about as well as we've seen, and the team managed to slow down the other one. But yeah, I think what like Nikki was worried about them being so top heavy. The other players just they really stepped up and they hit really well. They blocked really well, and
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, and I think
it wasn't even
obviously
close in
like
this one.
the middles hit combined about 350, and Tristan Savage had 8 blocks. So that's the
Matched the
contribution that
Mojo's
you
total.
need.
Yeah, that's exactly
Like that's
it.
the contribution that you need from one
Yeah.
of those middles to block like that. Combined 9, right? So Tristan had 8 out of the 9
Yeah.
blocks from the middles, and then the two of them got 17 attempts. Kaylee had 22, Mimi had 49, SMD had 52. So the 17 attempts, that's not that many, but it's what needed to happen in order to create just a little bit of alleviated pressure for
Yeah.
the Pins.
Yeah.
And they
The telecast
executed that.
also really loved the Natalia Valentin Anderson. She had 3 blocks as well, and they kept being like, "She's 5'8",
They
or
can't
however tall
stop.
she is.
They can't
She's still
stop
blocking
saying it.
people.
I
I
don't.
mean, I gotta be honest, it is amazing.
Yeah. Would
Yeah.
you feel like shit if you back row kill and just the littlest person on the court stuffs it?
I mean, why is Grace or why can't you hit over her? What are you doing?
Yeah. Maya Tabron did not have a great attacking game. I
No.
feel like what would I have wanted to see there?
I mean, they put
She
in
had,
Allison Jacobs, but
yeah, that didn't.
no.
Yeah, it was tough.
There was a
Maren Grout,
stretch.
Maren Grout, who's been great for them. She hit negative too. Like
Yeah.
she
It was
had
just
two blocks, but
They
yeah,
couldn't
they
put it
didn't.
together at all.
It felt like late, especially, I mean, the last set when it was 24-7. Like they just had no one to go to that could
It
get
was
them
yeah.
yeah, it was horrible.
consistent points at all.
It was not
Yeah.
good to see. We did the announcer say a bunch of times that Marley was sick.
Oh,
They
yeah, we heard
mentioned
that.
it.
People kept bringing it up in the Discord, and I wasn't close enough to her to be able to tell, see with my eyes if she looked not great. I thought that she played fine, but I can
Yeah.
understand if that contributed in a way that usually she's such an energy giver.
Yeah.
Was it very noticeable on broadcast or not really?
No, not really. I mean, yeah, I mean, you could notice that maybe it wasn't quite as the same as it was, but I don't know. It seemed like maybe it was just playoffs too. Like,
Yeah. I believe that this was Giovanna's final career match, which is a bummer from the performance perspective, not hers, but just in general.
Yeah.
However, also could I think that people were like calling for Morgan Lewis to come in, and she did on the
yeah.
dub sub a couple times, but she
Hmm.
wasn't far and away playing great. So like I
Yeah.
don't know that change in a more permanent way would have helped too much.
It feels like Dallas had like a bevy of weapons to go to, even though we wouldn't think of that because we
Yeah.
think it's like even just
Besides
having the
William.
two, like it felt like they had two hitters that you could go to that were better than San Diego had on the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Well,
mean,
I
even
mean,
three, frankly.
yeah.
yeah, I mean
Like,
when Kaylee Cox is hitting like that, then for sure.
yeah.
But it feels like
The
Sofia
Dallas
Maldonado
also.
Diaz and Mimi Collier are better options than San
it was
Diego has.
Yeah, it
Right.
was nice, like, given our qualms, my qualm, like, I was like, I don't want them to win because it's annoying that they only have their outsides. So it was nice to see in the playoff match
Hmm.
or semifinal,
They put it
they
together.
they did some
Yeah.
other stuff.
Yeah. They also really well executed like the service plan because Shara passed 7 times
Yeah.
Whoa.
in a 4 set match.
And they were setting like Mimi out of the back row too. Like I assume
Uh-huh.
that's block stuff too. And they were just I mean it was
Yeah,
all working.
their
Like
back row, Dallas's back row attacks are like
Really cool to
just
see
just
live,
so
especially.
precise and like
Uh-huh.
you can tell they practiced them.
Oh, they're really good.
Yeah.
All right. Should we talk about the final now?
Yeah.
final. The match for $1 million, as they let us know on the telecast, but he was on the floor. So this was Saturday, May 9th. Omaha Supernovas, the upstart versus Dallas Pulse on Ion. Gave us all we could ask for. Dallas won the final two sets. Pretty big to take the title in 5 sets and end their inaugural season with the championship. Pretty awesome. Omaha came out flying in the first set. Dallas lost to 20-25. Then they won the second 25-23. Then Omaha incredibly won the third set out of halftime 25-15. So that was pretty crazy. And then Dallas came out 25-13 in the fourth and 15-9 to finish it off. Dallas, I'd say, took a haymaker in the first set. The Supernovas hit 326 in the first set and passed 70% positive. So I was sitting there like, oh my God, my sister came over to watch the match for $1 million with me, high school volleyball player. And I was like, you got to know, like, I don't think Omaha's past 70% positive for a set this entire year. If they're going to do that in this game, it's going to be awesome. And then it kind of came back to earth a little bit. And Dallas struck back in the second, had a good block before Omaha, had a really awesome hitting set in the third again to retake the lead. And then from that point, Dallas hit over 300 in both of the final two sets, and Omaha hit under 100 in both of those two sets. So that closed the door on that comeback. Dallas led for the match by eventual playoff MVP Sofia Maldonado Diaz, 26 kills at 274 with a block, 11 digs. Also threw in 3 assists for good measure. So that's nice. You're getting assists out of your best hitter in the game. Similar to the semifinal, though, Omaha, I would assume, pretty happy with slowing down one of the two major offensive weapons, Mimi Collier, in this case, hit 19 with 10 kills and a block, but Dallas still won. Like who would have we never would have picked that beforehand. Mimi Collier hits 19 in the final and they win it. Tristan Savage again incredible. 7 blocks this time. 15 blocks for the playoffs for her. She had 5 kills as well, 455. Kaylee Cox, a little bit more a normal hitting day based on the like hitting over 500 in the semifinal. She had 296 though, 9 kills, really awesome, 4 blocks. And Omaha finished their we'll say tumultuous season. Not quite where they wanted, coming just short of the title game, or winning the title game. They led it twice after the first and third sets, but I think we can say we're pretty impressed with the way they showed up in the postseason, given all the ups and downs and the firing of their coach to still make the final. Just came up a little short. Also,
What's
I
your
guess we should
Oh,
mention
sorry.
before we talk, I mentioned it earlier though, but the Janice Liao injury looked really terrible. You could
It
hear
was
it. They just weren't playing any music and she was just screaming on the telecast.
it was awful.
Why didn't they move off of it? Why would they do that?
It took them way too long.
And they would not
You could
they didn't show a replay, which part of me is like, yeah, no, but part of me is like, well, let's see the replay.
let's at
What
least
happened?
find out what happened.
Yeah,
I
Right.
I would say no one talked about it. Okay,
yeah,
if there's an injury, this is what you do.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
it's
That
gotta
like
be
we're gonna
go to
cut away,
commercial.
or
I just
yeah.
yeah. Well, the cutaway too. I heard that they zoom in on her face for a while.
Well, she was just laying there, and then eventually, like half the team came over and kind of
Yeah,
Yeah,
did like the privacy screen huddle around her,
right.
crazy.
and then they carried her off, and she did come back obviously and sit on the bench,
Yeah,
Yeah.
crutches, throwing
yeah,
ice on her knee.
Yep.
Which
yeah,
yeah really sucks, and then Toyosi Onabanjo came in. You could feel it. I mean, obviously it's hard to, it was so early in the game too, in the first set, and
Hmm.
yeah. It was so
um
heartbreaking.
They
Onabanjo,
needed
she had
her.
5 kills at 250, but yeah, like you could see it. It's hard to just have to like get past that and keep playing. They still played well, but
Yeah,
it's hard
Yeah.
missing your like main blocker and all
Yeah.
that so
I do
suddenly.
think if she would have played, it might have been a different game.
I think so too. If she had had anything like,
Yeah, not
Especially
like
after the
drastically different. Like
yeah.
they maybe could have like would have still lost. I don't know, but I do
yeah.
think it would have made a difference.
Especially after the game she had in the semifinal, she was so
Yeah,
good. And
yeah,
Yeah, I thought I mean Dallas even talked about at one point like they were asked the question about adversity. And so I think that was it wasn't like a we also felt bad
yeah, sure.
when they
yeah,
went down for us, but they did talk about like having this flashback to Lane Van Buskirk going down.
Yeah.
They were like
Just kind of takes the
like
wind out of the
we
thing, yeah.
yeah. It
we
was
hear that and we're like looking at Lane and we're we're like
Yeah.
remembering when it was us. And I think that like generally speaking, it was a fucking bad year for middles, man. Like
It really was, yeah. I
and
mean,
almost
yeah,
every team
everybody,
had
every team,
someone.
yeah,
Is
in
that
the
right?
in the
Everyone?
playoffs.
Yeah. I mean it's just I don't know what that's about, but it was pretty brutal. I think it could have been a different match, but in the end, like Dallas beat Omaha by so much in those last couple sets.
yeah. It was
Yeah,
That
they figured it out at the end.
yeah. Which I do want to say real quick that I don't think that Omaha did anything to beat Mimi Collier. I think Mimi Collier beat herself.
absolutely
I have never seen someone hit, not someone, but her
her.
hit
You
so
should come watch
poorly.
me play some volleyball.
Yeah, right. I've never seen her hit so poorly. Like
I
Yeah, her
there were
specifically,
multiple
never.
times where she just swung out of bounds
Yeah,
completely or
Uh-huh.
directly into the net
Yep.
and is like trying to call like a touch or something. And you're like,
Uh-huh.
no, that was just like it was, especially being there in the angle that we're at. Like, no, you just like did not hit that correctly at all.
Yeah, yeah. And
And
you
she had a
dropped
lot. She was like not hitting hard at all. She was hitting very scared.
hmm
And yeah, it was
yeah. I
wild.
mean,
Well, it was
it's interesting because like she got blocked 3 times. She had 4 hitting her. Maldonado Diaz got blocked 6 times. Like that was basically all the blocks that Omaha had were blocking the two of them. But
Yeah.
they take so many swings, and
yeah.
especially Maldonado Diaz was really good. I mean, she had 26 kills
Yeah.
in the end, and
Yeah.
Hmm.
yeah, I again, like I texted you guys. That was like a Mimi Collier better start hitting if Dallas is going to do it. But and she didn't, and they won
Well, she
anyway.
never did.
So
She
like,
She
yeah.
yeah,
never figured it
it
out. Like
never
at no
picked back
point.
No.
up.
I think she literally just started getting the ball in the court.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's yeah.
As an attempt, totally.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was shocked. And
Yeah.
and meanwhile, Sophia's just like, all right, my turn.
Yeah,
Like she did
Sophia,
exactly what she needed to do.
well, like she wasn't playing that well at the beginning either, but then she kind of stepped it up.
Yeah, I definitely think
Um,
she did, especially on those Bics on the back.
yeah, yeah,
They were right off of, and she mentioned in the press conference too, they were right off of the middle's left shoulder, and it was so fast.
yeah.
It was incredible.
It was
It
really
was
cool.
working really consistently. She stepped it up. Mimi did not.
No.
And nobody else on their team had a hitting error except the two of them. So
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
hey, we can get away with that. Like that's
It's just the
fine
law of
if
large
everyone
numbers.
else just never hits it out of the court. Like,
Yeah.
please.
Right.
I do feel for Mimi, like I know what that feeling of you just can't something's not quite right.
Yeah.
Maybe you're not jumping as high as you usually do, and so that's throwing it off and you can't you're just not your timing's off and like
It's the danger
I
of,
have
yeah.
felt that and it feels awful
Yeah.
and you're like I don't know what to do. Like there's just
You can
nothing
only
to do.
imagine, yeah, what it feels like when you're in a sudden death, like when you're in a
Yeah.
knockout playoff game
Yeah.
too. It's like
Yeah.
Yeah.
you just happen to have
Honestly,
your worst game of the season basically in that game, and you're lucky that yeah, your rest of your team plays well and you get to
Yeah.
win
Yeah.
the title still.
Yeah.
all said, like in a purely selfish, my opinion is not the most important opinion. I'm merely a talking head. It did kind of make me feel better to see that she was fallible in this league
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's just like kind of wild to be a rookie and to be hitting extremely well all year long. And just like you're so obviously like out of this league that that like I find that to be like okay, she's also a human being, you know?
Sure.
And
Sure.
wherever she goes next, I hope she continues to grow. I feel like that's something
Yeah.
that should be a focus for her no matter what her ultimate ambitions are, like if it's Olympic team or not, if it's making money or continuing to whatever
Yeah.
all of those goals that she has are. Like I just wanted to keep getting better and
Yeah.
hopefully she will.
Yeah. And I hope she doesn't dwell on that match too much because she did have an amazing
A year
season.
overall.
It's got to be
Yeah.
easier to put it behind you when you
When you win.
have the
Yeah.
trophy still. That's got to be
100%.
nice. Well, and that fifth
Now
set.
Sydney Hilly's missed serve at the
Ugh.
end. I'm not
Well,
sure
that's what I was gonna
that
say
I'm not sure that she's gonna be able to put that behind her
in the fifth set.
I know I
Dallas won the fifth set. They only had to get 6 kills
because
for
of
the
missed
whole fifth
serves.
set. Well, it was just a combo. Like there were, I think, yeah, missed serves, hitting errors from Omaha. They didn't block them at all.
Yeah. I mean, 3 missed serves in a
Yeah, in a 15-point
yeah.
set.
No, that's
But yeah,
good.
giving them 9 points. I guess. Well, errors. It's more like 7 free points, and in a 15-point set, it's probably not great.
Yeah.
I can't. The Sydney Hilly miss serve, I like held on to Kelly. I was like we were like holding each other.
Well, and it's tough. Like obviously, situationally, it's is one thing, but they basically had the same serving game they had in the semifinal, like 13 errors and 4 or 5 aces. But Indy had 17 service errors in that one.
Yeah,
So
they outdid them.
So we learned that the old head coach did not give serving zones.
Oh, we learned that, Ian.
really,
Which
No
like
zones.
and so we were like we should learn more about this at the international level. Like, is that common
right.
to not do that?
like so, who's give like are they
So they
giving
have
it at
to
all?
like
Like a
you're
setter's
responsible
giving
for
it?
knowing the
Yeah,
game plan. You're responsible
sure.
for reading what's going on and like having heads up. I
Making those
assume that's
decisions for yourself. Yeah.
yeah. I don't know. We actually discussed this a lot like over the weekend.
I think that certain older players who are very experienced are going to be like, yeah, no, I know what I'm doing, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
but I don't really understand. There were a lot of things that we're going to find that we're finding out, or maybe they'll stop. I don't know. But about Luca's approach that we're just kind of like, do you really think that you can just force people to fit into your culture and not make any adjustments based on the situation at hand?
Yeah.
Like these are not college players. They're not people
Men.
in Europe. They're not men. They're this age, you know. They're a variety of ages and they're this experience level. So
And
like,
they're all
you can't
different
just-
people. Like
Right.
yeah.
You can't just like be like, whatever I do over there is what you all are going to do now. Like, it has to be like, if anything, if I really wanted to find a way to do that, I feel like as a coach, I would have individual conversations to be like, what is your preference here? Do you like having this fed to you so that you can think about other things?
Sure.
It feels actually more like
Yeah.
a personal preference than if you're at
Yeah.
this certain level, then you just should
I
never
think
rely
there's
on it.
Yeah, I think there's coaches that are like that. I think usually I would expect it out in like a college program because you're churning rosters so much that like you're like, hey, this is the type of game we play. We're going to
Mm-hmm.
recruit people to play this, to
Type.
fill these roles in these positions.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that that's the same in volleyball, given there's so much turnover on the roster. But once your roster's set, you would think you'd want to be then making maybe some adjustments based on the personnel you actually have and
Yeah,
what they
right.
do better.
Yeah, I think that a lot of choices that he made were very rigid. That's the impression that I've been getting the more that I learn. So, wish him well.
Well, yeah, I mean, I get at some level being like I'd rather lose playing like my brand of volleyball than
Yeah.
change it and get fired anyway. But hindsight being 2020 and all, it doesn't look great that they immediately got better
Right.
when you weren't there anymore. Like
No, I know.
that's not great. Especially
No.
given their coach was like a not
20.
super far out of college.
Right. Right.
And he
Right.
seems to like got a lot more out of the team
Yes.
than you did
Yeah.
in the same position. One thing, Brooke Nonneviller's 66% positive passing.
Oh, hell
They
yeah.
passed pretty well as a team that game.
That
That's
was a
why,
thing that she could
yeah,
control. I don't feel like her hitting ever figured it out this year.
no.
Yeah.
Oh, that's one other thing I wanted to mention is that I do believe that Omaha's loss can be attributed to their setting and their offense.
Oh, you thought so. You thought the
Yes,
setting was what?
slow
Oh, yeah, too
and
high.
not creative enough.
Mm,
I just felt like, and also a little messy. That was
yeah.
uh, over
Digs were 12 feet
sides,
off the net, though, very consistently.
both sides, messy volleyball. It was not a pretty match to
I mean,
watch.
that fourth set for Omaha, they got similar to Dallas in the fifth set that they won. They had 6 kills that entire fourth set.
Yeah, yikes.
Yeah. It was a lot
Hit
of blocking, though, I
negative.
remember.
Yeah, they got blocked 4 times. I mean, 4 times, but a lot of like there were some really long rallies in that match.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Which that
mean,
was the one other one I think from the Indy semifinal where Johnny Taylor went into the like second row of seats and
hmm
they won the point. There were a lot of good ones like that over the weekend.
there
Yeah.
were good long points.
Uh-huh. And very fun.
I just the only excuse I'll allow Brooke Mosher is that those digs were so far off the net, man.
Yeah.
It's tough to set tempo from there. Now, can you do it? Should you do it? Yeah. But they were Hail Mary digs that were so far off the net. I
Yeah.
didn't appreciate it.
Yeah.
Okay. Time for gossip?
Yep.
Goss.
I've
Congrats to
got goss.
Dallas.
Congrats to
New title
Dallas.
winner every year of the league,
Yeah.
which, despite our picks for the playoffs, makes us right again because of the parity of the league. So
Yeah. Well, we're always right. That's the thing.
big into
In the
parity.
end.
Okay. For also wait, before we move on, I asked my friend who plays professional volleyball, who has
Yeah.
played professional volleyball,
Yeah.
what her experience internationally. She has not played in the US, but I asked her about serving zones.
Oh,
She said some
great.
coaches go over it in the scouting report. They can say we are going to target number 12 in this match, or they can say the same about the zones. But they usually just tell the athletes which athlete they want to make pass the ball.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
In my experience, it's always been a coach giving serve zones. So heard that it's but like at the same time you still do have a conversation before the match of who they want to target.
Right. And then
Sure.
obviously it changes throughout the match and you communicate that like
Yeah.
now serve this. So I'm
Right.
sure like that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. But obviously if someone notice it, like the coach notices a need for a specific serve at a specific time, then they are going to communicate that.
Well, a big reason why I'm sure that this is the case is that the coaches are busy doing other things. So,
Yes.
like,
Yes.
when I coached club and I was the assistant and it was my job to give a serve zone every single time, sometimes I was like, hang on. And then I would give it.
Right.
Because you're
Yeah.
talking to another player, or it's a very
Yeah.
involved responsibility for every single point.
Yeah.
And obviously those are high schoolers. They need to know every single time. But I imagine that it's a good idea to have a game plan going in so that the coaches on the sidelines can do other things.
Yeah.
Also, yeah. If anything, like I would assume if a team is going to decide that they do zones, then it's like an assistant coach's
Yes.
responsibility. I don't think I would have expected the head
Sure.
coach. Yeah. I don't think it's like the most insane thing that
No, probably
yeah,
not. That makes
like I
sense to me.
wasn't doing zones. Okay, anyway,
Thank you
we
for the
can move on.
check. Okay, I'm going to talk about gossip. San Diego. We didn't really know what happened. No one really knows what happened. There were a lot of rumors and gossip flying about in this weekend. Gary Jacobs, the owner, and his wife, they were there for the San Diego game, which I thought was kind of an interesting choice, but cool. See your team through to the end. I think that probably the most likely story across a handful that I heard was that Gary Jacobs didn't want to spend so much money. I think he got in a little over his head on the money, didn't know how much it would be really. Plus, we never have talked about it on this podcast, but there's information out there about a lawsuit and some drama with the front office regarding a relationship between the president and a director. And so shit's been
Somebody should start a
happening.
Substack and write it.
Yeah, maybe, probably. Especially now that it's, over. I think that there was like a lot of stuff going on, and on top of that, it's a lot of money maybe he didn't realize. So I think that the announcement by San Diego was sort of a surprise though. And so then we were left with the remnants. It makes a little bit of sense why they did it when they did. We talked about that last week of like if they had made a decision that they didn't want to come back, trying to get the players like a proper send off.
Yeah.
That
When you
makes
say
sense.
surprise, do you mean like surprise to us or surprise to the league?
I think it was a surprise to the league.
Damn. So they were thinking maybe about having 13 teams next year. That's unlucky.
Yeah. I mean, what I think
It's a devil number.
they might have known. This is the thing. They may have known that San Diego wasn't planning to play next year,
Yeah, sure.
but they didn't know that announcement was coming.
Okay. Yeah.
So when it did, like we've also heard that the players knew a couple weeks before that announcement that like they should look at other teams for free agency. Like
Sure.
that mid-April free agency moment when you could start talking to players that weren't just your own. That team did not screw over their own players. So
Yeah, sure.
they had
That's
made
good.
some kind of decision, but it seems like that wasn't the announcement that happened at the end of April had not been communicated to the league, which answers some of our questions around like 2 days. And then they put out that statement and what did they do that for? And it's like, I think that they were moving quickly on that one.
Rambling.
Yeah.
So I think I said this last week, but maybe y'all should cheer for LA next year. I know that's very loaded based on your personal sports history, but we are still hearing a handful of players plus Alicia moving over to LA next year.
Or just, become spiteful Vegas fans
I
that
love
hate
that.
the LA team more than anything.
There you go.
That would be really good, actually.
Sure.
I would love
That's
to see
fun.
that. We saw the Vegas previous GM and maybe the president and Fran Flory, who was the coach and then moved to GM. Anyway, we saw a handful of them were there. So that's good news. I think that's more evidence that Vegas is happening next year.
There will at least be some shorter travel for those West Coast teams now
That's what we think.
Yeah.
for a few games.
LA still not announced, right? I thought they were going to on the telecast, but they didn't, right?
Yeah.
But I saw.
Okay, so I don't know what's up with that. This is probably going to be the thing where it happens tomorrow morning after we record. So
Yeah.
TBD. But we do think that they're getting some stuff figured out based on the aforementioned gossip about Alicia and some Mojo players. The Minnesota coach was at the playoffs, and I was hearing, I'm thinking that they have a good chunk of their roster spots set. We've obviously had the one announcement. We think, there could be more from players who are not currently in the MLV. For NorCal, Carrie Walsh-Jennings was at the playoffs. She was at the semifinals. I didn't see her at the finals. Did you, Kelly?
No.
She didn't come to the finals. I don't know what's up with that. I'm not hearing many free agency moves with NorCal, and the same thing with DC. Now, could these things be happening and I just don't know about them? Of course.
Of course.
But I'm wondering if there could be a little bit of a slow start for NorCal and DC. Don't be alarmed. There's plenty of good volleyball players out there. And when these teams get their coaches, they'll have their networks. So I'm basically saying don't be nervous. But I didn't hear any additional gossip on those teams.
Are we thinking that maybe Columbus will be ahead of a couple teams this year and making some moves then via that news?
I think that we can dream and that maybe we'd be right. I hope. That could be cool, don't you think?
Yeah. Let's do it. Let's get Columbus in the playoffs.
Let's do it. Get them in the playoffs. Okay. We think Indy trying to stay consistent. I hope they can. I think they might be able to, especially with Lauren Bertolacci getting Coach of the Year and so many players reposting it and being so excited for her. I think they really like her. I think they're trying to stay to run it back. All right?
Yep.
Dallas. Gonna be a lot of new faces next year. Don't be stressed out, Pulse fans, okay? It's gonna be good. It's gonna be really good. I have every bit of confidence in Shannon as well. I think that she can put together a really, really good team with her connections. I think there's going to be some new international talent. By the way, we heard 4 international players will be allowed per roster next year, which I think we've gone up from 2 to 3. Next year it'll be 4. Bless you, Kelly. So that'll be cool. And then finally, I do have this little bit of information to share about Omaha. Now, apparently some of you fans made it very hard to play for them this year. You should be nicer, okay?
Because like the Toronto Maple Leafs fans.
As we can see, even if they're 500, they can almost win a championship. So maybe take a breather and be better next year. Okay?
You just got to get into the dance. That's what we've learned.
You know what's
Omaha
funny?
Fans.
My favorite brand of so we're preaching kindness in this moment. And we kind of shit on people all the time. So,
hell yeah. Take it with a grain of salt.
Totally.
Do as we say, not as we do. But also, we would never personally bully, right?
Well, also, they were right. I mean, that's part of what's that's part of what's impressive with Omaha. Obviously, the front office also felt the same way as these fans. They fired the coach.
Yeah, right.
True.
So, there were things that they also wanted to change.
Now, what if he was getting bullied so badly that he left?
That he left? That he's just getting,
I don't think that was the case,
flaming bags of poop to his house.
So it was actually the fans were mean to him as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it could be. But now, the other thing is, you could still get a lot of returners. They may fight through it. But I don't know if you will.
I mean,
because
playing in Omaha, though, is such a fun thing for people.
It is a fun thing, but that's what I'm saying is that I heard that there are some players who were like, yeah, I don't know, they turned on us. Wasn't that fun.
That's the Yankees, how it goes when they suck. That's what happens when you have an incredibly invested fan base.
Totally. Yeah. There's pros and cons to everything. But I heard that some players were just like, yeah, it got kind of dicey over there.
Hey, bro, go play for the Fury then, man. No one's going to give a shit. You can do whatever you want. Could not be in the playoffs.
And they'll take you back with open arms and they'll love you.
And no fan will be
maybe they will. Well, maybe they will. Okay. So that's the gossip that I have for now. Finally, I did a little bit of research and I would like to present a proposal for the season. Would you like to hear it for next year's season?
Yes.
Okay. So first I calculated each team played 28 matches this year and it was 18 weeks. I would love to give you some comparison points. So Italy, Serie A, that's 29 weeks. That's October 6th to April 22nd. That includes playoffs. It's 26 matches in league play. So we're saying 28 versus 26, 18 versus 29. Now, I do believe that's not a fair 1-to-1, 100% comparison because I think that Italy also plays a cup tournament in December, January maybe, around the holidays. And then the winners of that have done a Champions League, and there is club championships in December. That's within their season, but that's only so many. Maybe it's a Champions League or club championships, perhaps. I mean,
it could be both.
It might be both, but so it's not a pure 26 matches. There's more for the teams that are really good.
Yeah, because the Champions League is just it would just be Europe,
right? Also, in Turkey, the top league, did you know this? It's called the Sultans League.
Sick.
And that's 28 weeks. October 11th starts a week later to April 20th. It includes playoffs. It's 26 matches in league play. I'm sure that it definitely also includes Champions League. They may have a cup. So it's, again, not a one-to-one, but there's a lot more time baked in. The moral of this story is that either we need in this country a longer season in terms of weeks, or we need fewer matches. I can't imagine they're going to change much about the timing of the season. We know that they can't go much later because of FIVB rules and sanctions and fines and shit. We know that going earlier eats into NCAA. So I don't know what they're thinking there. But my proposal for 12 teams next year is 2 divisions. That's East and West. You can break up the travel, less travel, and you can create some more intrigue with rivalries. East would be DC, Orlando, Atlanta, Columbus, Grand Rapids, Indy. West would be Minnesota, Dallas, Omaha, LA, NorCal, Vegas. You play your own division 3 times. That's 3 times 5. That's 15. Then you play the other division 1 or 2 times. We could get it back to 24 if you play every team from the other division once and half of them twice. Get it back to 24 matches. I think that would be really appreciated. Now, is it still too much?
I think
The
it would
middles
work.
are going to go down all the time? I don't know.
Be a lot of travel for Minnesota, certainly.
Right.
But I'm on board, but we have to call it conferences. It can't be divisions.
Why not? Why? Tell me more.
Because this is just American sports lingo. Conferences are the halves. Divisions are the divisions within a conference.
Got it. Okay.
Or we
All
could
right.
call it a league.
I'll accept it.
Like, baseball, they call their halves leagues.
And the national
American League, National
What if
League.
we come up with a fun new word?
Ooh.
The half?
Could call it polycules. That's what the kids call it.
I like that. I love that.
Maybe
That's
the,
so funny.
the East and the West Symposium?
Ooh, the
Symposium.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
All right. Well, thanks
Also,
for letting me go through my proposal.
One other correction. We said
Oh,
Minnie
yes.
Collier set the record for most kills.
Did she
Or
not?
we speculated on it.
Yeah.
She did by 4.
yeah.
She had 4
That's-
more kills than
Wow.
Brittany Abercrombie
Than
last
Brittany
year.
Abercrombie last
Wow.
year.
But only, and her and Sofia Maldonado Diaz became the 3rd and 4th people to ever have over 400 kills in a season.
It makes a lot of sense based on how Dallas ran their offense.
First, and now Sofia Maldonado Diaz is 3rd on the list.
Wow. Good stuff. Good for
Yep.
them. Way to go, Pulse. We're proud of you.
Yeah, crazy season.
It's a fun one.
Okay, well,
And
here's the thing.
your other issue was like they didn't play great against Indy.
Yeah.
Didn't have to.
Didn't have
Didn't
Don't even
have
have
to. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. We're recording on Monday, May 11th. Do we think that free agency signings are going to be announced this week? We frankly have no idea. So maybe we'll talk to you next week if there's something to talk about. Or
Yeah, do we want to
maybe-
just do an episode once there's some news? Once there's
Yeah.
free
I
agency?
think so. We got to keep an eye on the pulse and of the league, and
Our
we'll
finger on
pop
the
back.
pulse.
We'll pop back on here when there's something to talk about.
Sounds good to me.
Great.
All right.
Okay, well, thanks so much for listening to Court Captains, a Volleyball Podcast. Please give us 5 stars on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and like and subscribe on YouTube if you like what you're hearing. Support small podcasts. And if you don't like what you're hearing, then please just go ahead and mind your business. Follow us on Instagram at CourtCaptainsPod and email us your questions or comments at courtcaptainspod@gmail.com.
And don't forget to be the captain of your own court.
Yeah, especially in the off season,
Yeah.
For real, when we
that's
can't
really
remind
important.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good season, though.
Good season.
Season.
All right. Bye.
Bye.